Hello, everyone. Hello,
Hi.
hello.
Hello.
Um, it is Friday, and I have to say, it's hard to say Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Just so much going on, and we were talking about a little bit behind the scenes about, and I'll hand that over to you, Kim, because you're on a roll with that. If you're an empath, we're feeling this.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I was just saying I've it's been a while. Through the Trump years we got a lot of practice of being outraged and upset and angry, but with so many hard tragic, sad, difficult images coming out, um and you're kind of um you want to stay on top of what's going on. You want to know what's happening. You want to understand what's happening, because I think a lot of us are kind of trying to still understand everything that's going on. And when you're an empath, you feel it's just a different experience. It's having empathy is, you know what that feels like, and being an empath is just kind of just a heightened that. It's that, but heightened. And it's yeah, just you just have to be careful. You have to be careful, and you have to kind of put up those boundaries and be aware that you are an empath. I think just being able to know that about yourself, and know that, okay, you know I can't carry it all around with me all the time. You have to kind of let things go. You can still pick them up. You can still, you still have that ability to pick things back up when you need to know, but you do need those breaks in between, and those deep breaths in between. And also, you cannot lose that faith and that hope that spirit's involved. They know what's going on. That we are going to hear these miraculous stories that are going to come out of this situation. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yes, and Cheryl, thank you. I was just going to ask Andrea, and like you said the other day, Andrea, observe but don't absorb. I
Yeah.
thought that was brilliant.
Yes.
That's a big lesson I had to learn as an empath. Not easy, but to observe the situation and not absorb it. It's just so easy for empaths to just get knocked right over with the emotions. But this one we can't. But I will say I can feel the weight of this one.
Mm-hmm.
Even as just trying to observe it, I can feel the weight. There's something different in the air. And I think it's a heavy concern. I think its concern is definitely one vibe I'm really picking up. Like everyone's just really concerned. And then I just was thinking today, someone mentioned they think he wants Ukraine for the trade routes. And I'm thinking, who is going to trade with
Right.
him at this point?
Right.
Yeah, there's people dropping them all over the place.
Like,
And of course, then he's threatening Sweden and Finland now if they join NATO, for major whatever if they join NATO. Like a big bully over there.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting too because um, I mean, a few of us got that he was going to get there, show his muscles, maybe do a little bit at the border. Did not see him going in.
yeah, something changed, and I don't think all of his admirals or whatever you call them agree with this. They don't agree.
And I feel like that's what we were picking up on that a lot. I kept seeing they're not in agreement. There's this, but of course he's on calling the shots. But
I felt really powerful. One of the most amazing emotions I felt was the protesters in Russia.
Oh,
Right.
When I tapped into them, it was so exciting in a sense to feel their, because you know it's going to happen to them,
oh, I know.
and they're still doing it anyways, right?
Yeah. So brave.
Yes, it
We
was so strong.
immediately,
Yeah,
ah,
I know,
immediately,
goosebumps, right?
yeah.
Right.
Giving them prayers because, yeah. And then you have, they showed a picture of this first young married couple, their first day of marriage, and they're gathering together like a little group of people and guns and on their first day of being married. I just heard the Queen passed.
What?
She had COVID.
What?
I don't have. I mean,
I can't even type it into my phone. Where do you see it?
someone just posted.
Let's see.
But we have to back that up. Hold on, guys. We have to back it up. It's Putin, and he's driving. Rise Hamilton said.
I see she's postponing things.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep our eyes and ears open, but I don't have any news flashes. I usually get a news
Yeah,
flash.
I almost fell off my chair. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
So, Bob said that this year, 2022, the number represents things coming to the light. And that's dark things coming to the light, but it's for positive change. And he said the light wins. So we are seeing bad things happen right now for whatever reasons we may not understand, but the light wins. The light will win. It's just awful to see all of this stuff going on, and I still surprised. I can't believe in 2022 that he's allowed to invade another country. This doesn't register with me as doable. How can that be possible?
Okay, it's a false rumor.
Okay.
So I can imagine that. Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of when Andrea and I first started reading together. Literally every time we got on, we had lost someone big, and we were here together and helping the family get through it. Remember, Andrea?
Like RBG just passed, and we're like, "Whoa, how do you go live with that when you're like the minute before we went live or something?"
Minute before, and I feel like every time we got on, somebody had. So we had to do that. So I was like, "Oh no, here we go again." Yeah, awful.
Yeah, the only thing I ever got with Putin with this was that if he goes into Ukraine, he's done.
Yep.
That's it. He's finished.
They'll
put him in a box, and that's it. That he's done. And I think that is what's happening. I think he's going to be a pariah. I think he's going to be North Korea is what he's going to be. And I think his people, the people of Russia, will finally be done with him. I think they're getting sick of him anyway. I mean, after 22 years, you've got to be sick of the guy, and nothing's gone better for them. Everything's gotten worse. And so I think we've talked about this before. It's felt so long. Like we've just been kind of teetering on this edge of authoritarianism versus democracy. And it's just been like this. And I feel like right now we are just seeing everything. And like we talked about 2022, things coming to a head, everything coming to a head. I think that's what I think you guys have talked about that too. My whole 2022 prediction thing was about things coming to a head. that's what we're going to be seeing. And
Yes.
it's going to be one of those years, and we're seeing it here. And you're right. It was a dark day, yesterday, and there'll be dark days, I'm sure, coming, but you're right. The light will emerge from this, and we will have a better world because of it, even if we can't see it right now. We simply will, because there are more good people in the world right now than there are bad. We know that.
Right. Yeah.
We know that. And we will start hearing about the wonderful people that are helping. We will start to hear about the amazing humanitarian help that comes to help all of these refugees. The amazing, how people are so amazing to one another in times of crisis. We are going to start hearing all of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
And the Russian people having a voice. They don't want this.
No, they don't.
They don't want this. This was not their decision. Yeah.
Yeah. And we knew that. And well, we did see that separation. And I just thought they would stop him before his madness too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right.
Because even his people didn't want, his cabinet people didn't want it either. So.
And he can't, and as much as he tries to, as much power as he thinks, as he has in the iron fist that he tries to rule with, Alexei Navalny, to stand up in that courtroom, he literally is at the mercy of the system, and he takes his few minutes that he has to talk about this invasion and see how wrong it is, and people get out in the street. The bravery of that man, and like I said, the unbelievable power of human beings to want to be free and to know that that's our natural state. Freedom, joy, and love. That is our natural state. That's who we really are. Somewhere we know that. We all know that. And so we're always fighting for it, and we're going to keep fighting for it. And people like Putin can just go, away because that's what's going to keep happening. People are not going to stop fighting. So, or they're not going to stop evolving to that, because that's what we're all meant to have it. We're all meant to be that.
And we can do a virtual group hug.
The group hug. Everything's okay, everybody. We'll be okay.
And I love that, we can, with this family here and the ability to move energy in positive ways, we can just unite right now as a group here. We have over 400 people here right now, and just send love and light to the protesters in Russia and the Ukrainian people and all the people come, there. Love, light, and protection and whatever to them together.
Yeah.
Huge.
And all of the colors that were, all of the different Capitol buildings and the different areas, lit up with blue and yellow, and the Pope going over and trying to talk to. It's really been remarkable. People are not. It is a different world than it was in 1939. It's not the same kind of thing, and. He's living in a dreamland if he thinks this is going to go the way he thinks, the way he thinks it is. It's just not.
He's out of touch. And I can assure you, the whole world is grateful, so grateful that Biden is in the White House and not that orange fool.
Oh my gosh. It would have been.
I don't even want to know.
Yeah. And but the thing is a lot of us were tapping into that, like, if he gets in, that it would have been the end of what we knew. So, if people say, "What is Biden doing?" Well, he did that. He saved us.
Yes.
from what could have been. So different.
Yeah. And I did hear they did add sanctions on Putin himself.
Oh,
Like
really?
just a little bit ago, they decided to go after him personally.
Oh,
So
interesting.
he will be personally finally affected by some of the things that he's doing. May help. We'll see.
How do you personally
Like,
sanction
is
someone?
he banned from like meetings and things like that?
I think what they've done is they've started to block him from getting some of his money. I think they'll probably start seizing some of his assets, not allowing him to launder his money in ways that he's been laundering it through other places. Entertainment purposes only, but the way that he and his friends have laundered their money through England and different places. They're gonna start taking stuff away and stopping it. So it's something they have never done before, because of course people are benefiting from it. There are governments that are benefiting from it, but I think they see the writing on the wall. This is different. People are not having this. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Joni also says Putin has many bank accounts around the world and they all blocked.
But
Okay.
it's not enough. It's not enough, ladies. It's not enough. He needs more. He's got to have more.
Yeah.
I mean, right? It's this endless greed and just this sickness, this hole in the soul that they cannot fill with stuff and money and stuff and money and stuff and money and power, and it can't be filled that way. So
no.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple of things I wanted to look at surrounding this topic is the Russian space chief threatening to let the International Space Station crash if we don't lift the sanctions that we've placed on him into the U.S. So he's threatening to let the International Space Station crash into the U.S. I guess he can do that if we don't lift the sanctions.
You mean he's up there now?
I don't know if you have something down here where you can go boop, 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 and it crashes, or I don't know that, but I mean, it was on CNN. So it wasn't from a, so what is that about? And Tina says the U.S. can shoot it down if he does that.
I was just going to say, I feel like there's mechanisms put in place to, I'm seeing like, how like in airplanes, one thing shuts off, so another thing comes on, there's mechanisms in place that just like are automatic. Okay. That's what I'm seeing, something like that. So I almost feel like automatic things happen if somebody tries to do something like that.
Ridiculous like that as part of war, like, and if he does that, isn't he saying war against the U.S.?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You would think that's an active war.
Active war, yeah.
So I believe it's just a psychological thing. I think, because it feels like this. If this trigger is pulled, this trigger goes into place. Like there's things that happen automatically. Yeah. So
is that what he's trying to do? Is draw us into that?
Full of it.
It's just cause chaos.
Cause chaos. That's what I think.
And fear. They're like terrorists. Causing fear, causing terror.
Yeah.
You know what I have noticed actually is that with Trump and all, going through all of the Trump years and the Trump, I do think that that those years toughened us up. I feel like we're a much and not in a mean way, but just in a more resilient. I feel like we have more resilience, and I think we know we do now. I think we know, having lived through 2020, I think we know we're a lot more resilient than we think, and I think that we're not gonna be as cowed as we may have been before the Trump years. A little more
we are
spicy.
Yes, I agree with that completely. It's so interesting because I was just throwing on the space station situation. However, a whole nother message came out. And some kind of decision thing going on here, linking targeting 45.
I think interesting.
Oh, very interesting. So, and I was asking about the space station things. So what does that have to do? That opens up a can of worms. I have no idea.
How did you ask the question, Debbie, when you asked?
I just basically, what's the purpose and outcome of the space station threat? Why would they? What is it? Create this chaos? What for? What's the end result here? Basically, kind of tell me a story about this. Kind of, to get some.
I noticed the orange, the Donald Trump, but also the Target as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, Target.
Well, are the oligarchs and Poots? Are we right on the cusp of finding out how involved they were in the American election?
I think we are. I think you're right.
Trying to avoid that with all of these things.
Okay, yeah.
It's part of, right?
Well, and when you start opening up the deep money boxes of the money we've never known where it comes from, where it's laundered, who has it, all of that stuff is going to come out, all of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I feel the Ukraine attack is one thing, but there's also something else going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, we have talked about this before, Karen. And does anyone else think Putin is dying or has Parkinson and wants to go out with a bang, literally?
Okay, so I was just gonna ask you guys, would you read on Putin's health? Because last night during the thing, I said I almost want to say, for entertainment purposes only, that Putin is dying. Like I almost want to say that, and I don't know if it's metaphor. I don't know if it's a death wish, or that, because there is something about what he's doing now where it feels like I have to do this now. Like this has to happen now. There's no more time left. That kind of thing. And I do think this a lot of this stuff is about legacy, putting the USSR back together. So I'm dying to see, what you guys got on that. I wasn't 100%, but it just felt like,
every time I
said, what is Vladimir Putin's current state of health? And we have the black card.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been seeing it's an act of a desperate man for a couple weeks now, which could lead into the medical situation.
Right.
And if think about his ego, and you have to understand, super narcissists are absolutely insane. And if he's going to leave the world, he would also just blow it up.
Right.
Right? Because if I can't have it, nobody can have it.
Right.
No. We see that in the death, suicide, and love triangle play out on that level. So
he's just consumed with hate, all that darkness. Anyways, the first card out is, to me, the death card. for him. So
Wow.
either these actions are going to cause his death for
Right.
entertainment purposes only, or he is on his final breaths as he does this.
Well, ever since I've been reading on this, I've always had this sense, his energy was always a sense of, what do I have to lose? I've always had that sense with him. I'm making decisions, huge decisions like this, but he doesn't care about the future end result, is the feeling. But
That's so weird. And he looked so odd when he was signing those papers, and he looked so different. His eyes, it's almost like they couldn't focus very well. He looked kind of out of it. He didn't, when I tap into his energy now, whether compared to like a year ago or 6 months ago, he feels very erratic and kind of worried, nervous, not at all Putin-like. Usually Putin is very calm and very emotionless and very calculated.
yeah,
he doesn't feel like that at all anymore. He feels very hurried, worried, and also something like I'm waiting for something. I'm waiting for something to happen. I don't know, but that is a much more different energy.
It's recent. It's recent,
yes,
because he wasn't feeling like this even a few weeks ago.
Right.
Something changed. So I don't know if he got medical news or something. I just asked if he's out of his mind, lost his mind, and I got the bullseye. So he's not himself, literally.
Right. He is literally not
and
himself.
He may be completely nuts, or he's lost his mind. He's not of the same mind he was before.
Yeah.
Well, they had that weird meeting with him and his like business partners, and they were talking to him and asking him questions, and they were even confused about like what he was talking about. They're like, we don't know about that. It was really weird, because usually they're all very like right, and they know exactly what to say, what's going on, and they even seemed confused by what he was talking about and what his plans were. So yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah, he's just a strange bag of energy right now.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Oh, he said, someone's saying Putin's face was Ian says Putin's face was very swollen, and that can be steroids, taking steroids.
Well, yeah, prednisone,
that, giving you like that moon face kind of look. Can also be Botox, but yes, it can be.
Botox overdone.
Yeah.
And then would the steroids cause extra aggression and irrationality?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, he's definitely different. He's definitely different.
Yeah, he's backed himself into a corner here.
Yeah.
I'm so excited because I have you guys here with your cards. So I want to ask all the questions.
Yeah.
I wonder, could you just look at from where we are now with the invasion of Ukraine? Oh, what did you get, Debbie?
Well, I just feel with everything freezing up on him, he's backed himself into that corner, and you have the corner. Yeah. But I also, in throwing some other cards here, as far as the illness goes, I definitely feel like there's something that there is an illness there. Like the Knights of the Cross, that is totally. and he's trying to block that from getting out.
Mhm.
He has up to this point blocked it.
I
He's
think you're
known
right.
it for a while, but he's been trying to block that information from coming out and keeping those secrets. But I do feel there is an illness there. Okay, what were you?
Well, so I don't usually, do cards, but when I couldn't figure it out and it felt so weird.
Yes.
What do you guys get if you throw cards on the beginning of, well, say from like yesterday, the start of this kind of invasion to where this ends? What do you get? Like if you threw, I don't know how many cards you would throw to do something like that, but I can tell you what I got. It was weird because I got like things like the worry card, the up nights worrying, and I got the heart, the daggers through the heart card, which expected, right? Because they're going through all this turmoil. But the weird thing was the last card I got was the 10 of Cups, and I got a divine intervention card right on top of it. Because I was like, what is this? Because it's almost like dark, and then just this bright light. And I thought, and my first thought was, is something going to happen to Putin? Is he going to be gone? So I'm just wondering what you guys get with that. And that was my first like instinct that came to me was, what in the world happens that it's like everything's okay, because it was not looking like that. But I'm just so curious.
What was the card after the 10 of Cups you got?
I got the
10 of Cups.
I got the Star card, which for me that's always like for when I read cards, that's always a divine intervention of some kind.
Oh, okay.
That's just how I read it. Okay. But I got the 10 of Cups, and then I was like, what happens? And then I got the divine intervention.
Yeah,
so
there's going to be divine intervention. Awesome. Wow. I would have probably read it the same way as you did. Okay, so let me get to that.
And all of you that read cards too, you can throw cards too in the chat and see what you guys get, because it was pretty weird.
Oh, CB. Connie, is that you?
I think it's Connie.
So Connie, I feel like, this is, y'all do your thing. I have to talk to Connie for a second. I sent your cards like a month ago. Like yours was one of the first ones out, but I feel like on your PayPal account, you have an address that's not your address anymore. So I may have to resend. So let me know your address. I think your cards went to a whole different address.
Me too.
Yep, it happened to Andrea too. So,
is there
to Joy?
Well, I don't know what happens, but procrastination, and then healing. Maybe there's a hold on attacking him from either internally or externally.
Right.
And then the healing begins. What I do see, though, is soon there's the fall of the leader. That's Putin. Mm-hmm. This is his fall. This is his end. This is him. So, and then I had the attack recedes. The Russian attack recedes. It was upside down. So I don't know if I can't figure out why.
Mm-hmm.
Time. It's just procrastination. That's time. Time's not on his side. This was an unlucky time for him to do this. It's his end. We know it's his end.
Mm-hmm.
What do you get, Debbie?
There's
Interesting.
there's definitely communication within a group of secret people, trying to figure out how to bring back harmony. So this communication, secret communication, and the results of this is an ending. Is an ending for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing you got.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a little different, but you know what I mean.
Just a little bit, but
It's like trying to restore harmony back, but try to keep it under wraps, secret.
uh-huh.
But the results.
That's so interesting.
But even beforehand, you know, when I was getting some of this energy before, that there was this group of whatever, but I thought they would take him out, or that you know, not like kill him, but take him out before all this took place.
Right. But I think they didn't think he was going to do it.
Yeah.
Nobody did. I don't know if he went around some of them and did it. Who knows, right?
Well, when you sit at the border and just say, "This is just peaceful. We're just doing this.
Yeah.
We're just doing that. We're not advancing," and then you advance. I mean,
well, and to lie. So, I mean, to his own soldiers,
they're going to take him out
because they really are confused as to what they're doing and why they're there. I mean, now I guess they know, but they were not understanding what was going on.
And hello, what about the ones in Chernobyl? Do you think they really want to be there without protection?
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine that. It's such a bad idea.
But I think all of us, pretty much every reader that I've heard of sees his own taking him out one way or the other, right? So someone in his cabinet or something like that.
So another thing they're saying is that he's been in talking with Sue. He's been communicating back and forth with Sue. Shu. How do you say it? Shu or Sue? Shu. China. And that that he's behind the scenes doing high level talks with you, or encouraging him to talk with Ukraine. But I don't know, is that something we want to look into? Is there really this alignment with Shu?
She? Is that you're saying?
Sorry. Yes.
That's okay. It's okay.
Everybody's like, who are you talking about?
Shu.
Thank God I had two.
She. Yeah.
Sorry, chat.
So are they in? Yeah. Well, it's always hard to learn another language, and it's hard for me to pronounce names I know anyways, let alone another language.
Yeah.
I knew somebody last name Shu, so I was going XU. This is XI. Shu.
I always get him talking out of both sides of his face. Like, he cannot stand Putin, but it's like, oh yeah, we're friends. But it's on the other side, it's like, I cannot stand this guy. He needs to go away. And also he's problems. Like he's trouble is basically what it feels like. It kind of like almost like Trump a little bit. Like, I know this guy's around. I know he's a leader, but he's trouble. I don't want anything to do with this guy. He's weird. He's weirdo.
So I got a yes. I asked if the leadership there was okay with the invasion, and I got a yes.
Mm.
So I don't know how involved they were, but they're okay with it.
Mm.
So take what you want out of that.
Yeah.
I think in general that you know, dictators or authoritarian figures like chaos in other countries. I think it helps them, you know,
Yeah.
it helps them look good. Like, oh, look at over there, how awful it is. Aren't you glad that you got me as your leader? And I think it helps them. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see if Connie wrote back, but Connie.
Well, and there's kind of a, it just feels to me like she is telling Poots one thing, but not really meaning it, like using him as a pawn,
Exactly.
right?
Uh-huh.
He wants to be the number one country. So he's letting Poots do what he wants. He knows it's gonna self-combust.
Exactly. I think
right?
you're exactly right about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if it takes down other countries with it, well, that's fine with him too. You know, he thinks it'll make him stronger. So I don't see a camaraderie between them as real friends. I see
I don't either.
just like when Pootie used 45. Remember, he was all chummy with them, and then like the
Yeah.
next meeting, he wasn't even talking to him. You see
Yeah.
Orange's face was all. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
Thank you, Connie. Yes, so good. She said it went to her old address and they're forwarding to her.
Aw.
Oh, good.
Okay. Yeah, so I do see that they are in communication. I don't know. It feels a little bit. It's not as golden as it's painted out to be, but I think we have the right energy as far as she goes, and it's what can he get out of the relationship? He sees it kind of ending. He sees that coming to an end. But as far as in communication, yes, they have been. But I feel like it's coming to an end.
Right. Right.
He sees the ending for Putin.
And he's in a win-win situation. She is, because if Putin goes ahead with this and destroys other countries, he wins. And if he destroys himself, she still wins. So
right.
And there's no dirt on his hands, right? He's I didn't do anything.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Very Game of Thrones. Very.
That's the feeling I got too.
Yeah,
Andrea.
it's conniving and things like on such a level. It's a giant chessboard. They're not playing like Putin might be playing checkers, but she's playing chess, right?
Right.
And Trump was playing tiddlywinks. So you see the level of gameplay, like, and thinking.
Right. Right.
It's like he's playing Monopoly or something weird. Okay, so is Zelinski in danger, do you think? Or is he going to be protected? Do you think?
It didn't look good when I was reading on it.
Okay.
So I don't know if anything's changed, but it didn't look good for him.
I know that he feels that he's spoken out loud. This may be the last time you see me, and like that. So I just feel so bad because he literally he didn't believe that. I mean, he even got after Biden for saying stuff like you're making this bigger than it is. Well,
right.
It's bigger than.
Well, and I think too, he wanted to keep calm. He didn't want people to start panicking and running on the banks and going to get, he didn't want that panic, I think, too. So I think he was trying to keep people calm. But I when I read last night, and again,
apparently they needed to be panicked.
I don't want to give anything away, but I feel like his family is already safe. I actually feel like they might be here, not in my house, in the United States, but I think they might be here because that's just what I felt. That I feel like they were already gone. The one thing I kept getting was the world is watching. So I felt like if something happens to him and it's televised, or if something goes down with him, it will be so awful for Putin. It will be, because people, even though people may, his leadership skills or whatever, they liked him. They do like him. And I think the world pretty much likes him, thinks he's like an okay guy. He's at least not corrupt. He was elected. He's doing the best he can. He's very inexperienced, but he's trying. He was totally screwed over by Donald Trump. I think people felt for him at that time. But that's what I kept getting, was that the world is watching. And so that it could be a deterrent, that, he doesn't want to do anything, kind of like Navalny, that he doesn't want, he's kind of alive still, because if something happens to him, it's really going to be bad. Could be something like that. But I agree with you, Andrea. I think he's in a very, very scary situation, tense situation.
Yes, he is.
As if we don't already know that, but
But I'm glad his family might be safe, so that's good. We're not saying where he is.
No.
Yeah.
Don't say where he is. I don't think he's.
But imagine any world leader, though, at this point in time being, if they were to be, it's not acceptable. Even if it's even a bad leader, like you can't wipe out a leader of a country. At this stage, it feels different. It feels different. The world's changed, right?
Yeah,
we're in a different day.
Right.
It's just like, you're right. It's not like that. But I also don't feel
Right.
Zelinski would leave his country and hide. He wouldn't do that. Although he would protect his family.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I'd also gotten that he was offered, this was like about a week ago, I got that he was offered money and a way out, and he said no. That's what I got. So he did
He wouldn't
stay. He was going to stay and face this down. It was before the invasion. It was maybe a week or two ago, but I got that he was offered literally like suitcases of money and like, we will get you out now. I didn't know if it was like the Putin people telling him or his own people, but he said no. He said no, he would stay.
Yeah, there's no way he would. All right. Well, do we want to stay in this subject, or we want to move on to something else? I know this is all encompassing and overwhelming.
I know.
Is there?
I know people were asking about the question about why those two prosecutors quit.
Yeah.
On the Trump case. I know a couple of people wanted to know about that. Yeah. So, but whatever people want to, I'm down for whatever people want to talk about.
Okay. I'm looking at my little list here to see what I have. And I also have some starred questions as well. I just wanted to make sure that we just kind of, and thank you, Love Peace, praying for Ukraine a moment. Yeah. Just a moment. We did when we started, we can end it like that a little bit in a silence, a moment of silence for Ukraine and the people of Russia who are standing up against this movement.
Yeah.
So, yep. Sending.
And I think, having gone through COVID, I think we all can have so much, we all understand that feeling of everything being normal one day, and then the next day everything's different. So I think we have a different kind of understanding of that, how that can happen. It's been really unsettling.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Yeah, thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you, Cheryl.
And I also, everyone being home for 2 years for the same reason has brought everyone together. And we all experienced the same 2 years, no matter what country you were in, essentially. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's like, there is a sense of togetherness, like there really maybe hasn't been in a long time or ever. I don't know.
Right.
And now we're all in this together with the Ukraine. Like, I can feel it. I can feel every single country. I can feel it everywhere. They're like, no. Don't do this.
Yep. I agree with you, Andrea. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I also read somewhere where NATO has released. I feel like they're sending some troops in NATO so how does that work if it said NATO is sending troops in? So I feel like it seems out of control right now, but I feel like there's going to have some residents of control here. Let me see where I saw that.
They're saying them into Ukraine or outside of Ukraine.
Let me see. Looking at my news link.
And Jane's asking, is China going to pounce on Taiwan? Well, what an opportunist time, right? If everybody's looking over here.
Exactly. The whole world's looking here, and or he may be also stepping back to see how the world reacts and what he may be in for if he tries it.
Someone said, I think someone emailed me and they said that Russia's in charge of NATO right now, but like it's their month, but they're not even in NATO, are they?
No, they're not.
No. Thank you, Catherine.
All right. Well, I can't find where that piece of news came in. If NATO sent troops, that would mean war with Russia. Oh, okay.
I heard this morning they were sending them like to the border, like Poland and that area. There are people that actually think he is going to go into Poland next. I mean, it's so it's so Hitler-ish, but there are people that military. I saw a couple of guys talking this morning saying he'll do it. If he feels emboldened and he gets away with this, he's not just going to keep going.
Yeah, that's right. UN, is it the UN, not NATO? Anyways, it's the first time they've ever enacted. I think it's one of the first times they've ever enacted that, putting the troops in. So, it is just so.
Yeah, you're right. If he gets away with this, what's next?
Right.
But
yeah, that's what I heard as well, Kim, about Poland and.
7,000 troops were sent to Poland today. Okay, so yeah, they're just.
That's what I was reading on then. Okay.
So they're drawing the line, I guess, in a way, of you can't go, you can't do this. Yeah, he is like a black hole. I agree. He just wants more. It's never going to be enough because that's not what fills us, right? They're completely off.
Completely off.
Yeah, that things out here can't fill things in here. It doesn't work that way. So
Russia is president of the UN Security Council for 1 month in rotation.
Okay.
And it happens to be this month, I think.
Well, that's not happening. I declare no.
I declare no.
I declare that's not happening. They ruined their month. They cannot do it.
Okay.
Yeah, but whatever happens, this feels like it's the end of him. So.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it really, really does.
In other news, Lindsey Graham throws a tantrum over Biden's Supreme Court pick.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. He comes out of the woodwork. So I guess his pick came out today, and we have Ketanji Brown as his pick. So that's good news. Does that relieve anybody's pressure in their head right now? Is anybody else feeling that? Catherine, thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
And I know she's from Harvard, and she's a brilliant lawyer, I guess. Or she was a judge or a lawyer. I can't remember. But brilliant. Nobody cares what Lindsey Graham thinks. So,
and it's so funny because when I first read on it, like back when it was coming in, I was shown. I didn't know who he was going to pick. I just knew he said he was going to be picking a Black woman for this, and so I went into it and I was doing the reading, kind of trying to figure out, and it gave me a picture, but who I saw, glasses and kind of hair back a little bit, but so when I looked at all the pictures, I picked out somebody else. I picked out what's her name? Lee. Her last name was Lee. I thought it was her. I thought who I was seeing was her. But Ketanji Brown has glasses too, so maybe I don't know. I know that my guides are not wrong. I'm the one that interprets wrong. So I'm feeling I did see her. I just picked the wrong person out of all the pictures. Oh well.
No, I'm just looking her up.
It was a public defender. Yeah. Meridia says, why does the press even cover Lindsey?
I mean, how does he even have a job, Lindsey Graham? I don't even know. And a big
I know.
So yeah, too funny. Okay. So that's good. Is that going to be a smooth go for her to get in? Like, what is this going to? Because if Lindsey Graham's throwing a fit, isn't that just the beginning of a trying to create chaos? And hi, Georgie Moon. Around this to try to make it not happen. Is that how this goes?
Yeah, like why don't they just be quiet? Can he nominate and they don't say anything for a couple days? Can they just like not say anything?
Seriously.
Exactly, Marie. Nice one. He should go home, fix a mint julep, and clutch his pearls.
Exactly. Find the fainting couch.
I think overall it's going to be okay. She's going to be protected and get through.
Nice.
I didn't have all the cards in. Does that mean
you just had the ones you needed?
I had the ones I needed. Okay. Does that negate the reading if I didn't have all the cards back in?
I think she might be. I think she actually will get through. I think they're going to play their same nonsense games that they play all the time. I think the people that we know are prejudiced and gross are not going to vote for her, but I think she will get through.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to have like the drama of some of the most recent ones. I think it's going to be a little undramatic and kind of formal, and I think she'll get through. That's my kind of feeling.
Yeah, I do feel like it'd be a little rough getting there, but she's going to get there. No problem. No problem. Oh gosh. Yeah, they're gonna work it, but I have the Four of Wands and the Six of Swords there. Going from rough riders to smooth. So I think you're spot on with what's coming in there, Kim. Of course, they have to create their havoc.
I would say it doesn't mean, yeah, there will be nonsense. Of course there will be, but
There's the nonsense right there.
So fresh start, her getting in there and cleaning it up. I feel like that's her grabbing Kavanaugh.
I love it. There you go. That's a great card.
That was
Fresh
great.
start, a new beginning. It would be great. She clean things up.
She needs 51 votes, Roland says. Anyways.
She's very pretty. What a beautiful smile and a nice energy in her face.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. But yeah, let's unite together for her and send her really good energy as well. Ronda says, take out the garbage.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Anonymous is helping Ukraine. I guess they took down Russia's news outlet by cyber attack about a day ago. Interesting. Yeah, I think really good point. They are out of touch with what kind of year it is and how the world is.
Yes.
How people feel about things. They're out of touch. The Poots and his, even if it's just him, they're out of touch.
Yeah. Here's another big hot topic, and I feel like it was I had it also in my star. So this is, I think it's been asked a couple times about the new prosecutor chosen for Trump, Susan Hoffinger. She was a defender of white collar crime. Can we look at her? Yes, we can. Let's look at see? It came right after that. That's funny.
Oh, thank you.
Love peace.
Thank you, love peace.
Thank you.
So is she the new Alvin guy, or is she the new Letitia, or is she just part of Letitia's team?
Part of the team, because Letitia herself said, no one is above the law. Yeah. No one's above the law. She's on fire. And that's what I tapped in when this first happened. I'm like, oh no, this lit a fire under her. And so basically, this is not stopping her. There's nothing stopping. It's all moving forward and no one is above the law.
Is this the woman that took the place of the ones that quit, or is this a different case? She's the one that took the place of them?
Not part of Letitia's. Not Letitia. Okay.
She's part of that Alvin's team?
The other team. Sorry, not Letitia. Who's
I'm not vibing Alvin. I don't get good cards with him.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm thinking of two different things. There's so many cases.
There's so many.
Right. I know, right?
And there's going to be more.
I'm thinking of the one where she ordered, Trump is being ordered to comply in regards to his turning in his papers. Yeah. She took the place of two prosecutors who quit because of Alvin. Okay.
Well, they need to get rid of Alvin.
Right. Okay, so two different cases.
Right.
I got to separate the energies because I was
Susan Hoffinger.
Susan.
Alvin Bragg named her as in charge of 25 attorneys in the Trump case.
Oh, great. She took Cy Vance's place. Is that right? She took Cy Vance's place. Okay.
Oh.
Susan Hoffinger.
I don't know about you, Kim, when you when you tap into her energy, but I feel she's a little she's not she has a feel of disorganization to
Oh
her.
my gosh. Okay, so yes, I was just I was going to say scatterbrained, but the same
She's
same
scattered.
gift.
Wow.
She's got her
Same
hair
gift.
and a pencil in her hair like this, and she's got papers falling out. She's a little bit scattered.
It seems like she seems overwhelmed by the task. I don't have a great feeling. I unfortunately I don't have a great feeling about her.
Jean got flighty as well. Yeah, that's what I'm getting with her. She's a little bit flighty. She's a little bit, yeah. Carmela says legally blonde.
Here she is into the unknown.
Oh yeah,
Like what?
what? It's so funny. You want to see the card I pulled for her in my deck?
You,
that girl. Well,
a little bit all over. But yeah, I feel like they specifically kind of chose her because of whatever. But
someone said it's Bragg setting this case up to fail with her because
that's what I want to check.
kind of just feels that way.
That's what I want to check.
And she's to me, she feels also kind of like reliant on other people. It's kind of like when you don't know, like you're put in charge, you don't really know your job, and so you just trust everybody around that they're doing what they're supposed to do. And it feels like she's in that situation where she just kind of has to hope everybody does what they're supposed to do. I don't feel great about her, I have to say.
Okay, tell us.
Oh my God, I knew that card was going to come out. I said, did Alvin put her in charge to mess things up?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And I knew that was going to come out. That's the worst. And I could see it. And there it is.
Yeah.
So just another gameplay in this. I just don't understand. I just don't understand how it's all getting ready to go. And then the new guy comes in and now, well, we're just going to drop it. We're going to drop the case. And then the people are quitting.
Yeah.
What?
Peggy says, I don't think she's prosecuted cases before. No one seems very impressed.
Oh, great.
Well, then that's what he's put her in on purpose for that reason, to make a mess of this. And
right.
Very discerning. This was a yeah. He was trying to pull one over on everyone. If you guys want to see, trying to pull one over on everybody.
Yeah.
Agree.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. All right. Boo.
If it's any consolation, though, I actually still feel like he's going to be indicted this year.
Well, there's a lot of cases, right?
I was going to say it could be Georgia, it could be a lot of things, but I do actually feel like he's going to be indicted this year. I feel like it's going to be this year. So if that makes anybody feel better,
maybe it has to be out of New York City because he used to live there. Connected to.
I can't get comfortable. I keep moving my chair.
Connected to all the wrong, bad people. Letitia will go for it, so maybe we still have her. But maybe you're right. Maybe it's a charge in another state or a federal crime. Not that's out of New York City because maybe he still has too much power in New York.
Right. Because I feel like there are people that actually feel like he has to be arrested. That's the feeling. Like he has to be arrested. Otherwise, if he can't be arrested for all of the stuff that he's done, he can't be arrested for one thing. We are not a nation of laws. We're just not. And so he has to be indicted. He has to be. And then we'll go from there. But I do feel like he will be indicted this year. It may not be by then. Maybe it won't be by New York. Maybe it'll be, Georgia. I mean, like you said, take your pick. There's a bazillion ways to Sunday to, to find something to arrest him for. But
someone said he's loathed in New York City. So let me change what I'm going to say. He's still connected in the sense that he has dirt on people.
Right.
But he doesn't have dirt on the OG there, right?
He doesn't have dirt on Letitia.
And she said, she's like I was saying before, in the wrong case. She's not giving in to anything, and he's not above the law. She is on fire about this.
And he's not necessarily a despised by the people that ran in his crowd. He's despised by the average Joe. Everybody in New York, nobody likes him. Nobody can stand him. They all think he's a shyster. He is a grifter. He is a con man. Mm-hmm. But people that ran in his circles, like Giuliani and people like that, they still think, oh, he's such a great guy. So, and those are the people that they need to use to get him convicted or to get people to turn against him or that kind of thing. It'll happen. It's just such our system is slow. It's too damn slow for people like this. I mean, people like this, it's just so slow.
It is. And
he's abused the system.
And I feel like when you have money, so to speak, it's slow because you keep stalling everything because you can.
Exactly.
To keep throwing stalls.
Exactly.
And that's why we see people with money prolonging it out in the courts. And we saw that years ago. We saw that it would be in the courts for a long time.
Right.
Run it through.
Or being a complete, traitor like Paul Manafort and sitting at home having his sentence rather than sitting in a jail cell.
Exactly.
It is two systems of justice. Either we got to fix it, or it's gonna just keep happening. We're gonna just keep having these problems. But I think you're right. I think a lot of things are coming to light right now. It's just slow and painful.
It is.
It's slow.
Okay, I'll have a few more start. Does it look like these sanctions that are happening, will they affect the GOP at all? This is an interesting question, I thought. Will any of these sanctions affect any of the GOP?
Oh, sanctions against Russia.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's kind of like an in the back door type of
great
question here. I think is very
might dry up their funds.
Yeah.
Sanctions against Russia, will they affect the GOP? Sanctions against Russia.
Oh.
The GOP.
I actually heard yes, and I think some of this might come out in the January 6th commission for some reason. So maybe it'll just be kind of, maybe stuff will become available to them or something.
Well, tracing the
I
money.
don't know. For some reason, it's pointing me to them for some reason. So I don't know if it comes out that way, but I'm hearing yeah.
Yeah. I definitely, when I was looking at it, I felt like some of them were like, they're more afraid of something else being leaked. However, this will affect them. And they're afraid of other connections being revealed more than these sanctions affecting them. However, I do feel that they're going to feel this. They're definitely going to feel this. It's going to change their narrative. It's going to change. And yeah, so you have the whip and the clover. The clover is like that money card, and the whip coming in there. That is that is a bit of a cleanup happening because of it.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
This war he's got going, the GOP is going to see blow back. It's actually going to blow back on them.
Yep.
So the sanctions, all of this is going to blow back on them. Things are going to come to light, and some of them are going to fall for this. Because they're going to trace the money. That's the only thing I can hear or see in my head. It's like once that money stops, or the sanctions, it does affect them, and then it's like, well, then how did you have this before, and how did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting because I do think that Putin and his people have no idea all of the fallout that's going to happen because of this. It's going to be huge. It's not just going to be, we tried to invade, or we're invading this country, and they're going to blow open a bunch of stuff that. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was seeing then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're afraid of something else, some other tie to it. Yeah. But that makes sense.
Blow the lid off of everything.
Yes. That's what they're afraid of. Yep. What a great question. Awakening with Susan.
Yes.
Interesting.
That is a great question because they're opening a can of worms. They're opening Pandora's box is what they're doing.
House and unexpected money.
So there you go.
So unexpected money in the GOP house will be uncovered.
Andrea, you keep pulling the mic drop.
Yeah. That is so funny. Oh my gosh.
So strawberry rhubarb tarot, aka Sharon, is asking, will UK and France reverse their decision not to allow Ukraine into NATO in an emergency meeting, perhaps? Or
can France reverse their decision not to allow Ukraine into NATO? Interesting. Will they reverse their decision not to let Ukraine into NATO? Reverse their decision.
Oh, I see. So the question could be, will they allow Ukraine into NATO?
There's a possibility in the future soon, maybe this emergency act, maybe. And then that would help them, right? Then they'd be under NATO.
Correct.
Will there be some kind of emergency act on Ukraine into NATO? Is there going to be an emergency act?
I feel like there's a split on this somehow.
So what would be the reason to not let them in? Because they don't trust it? They think it's a game or something? Or why would they not let them in?
I think because they're such a new democracy, but also I think because of Putin's been that's been his whole thing is don't let them in, don't let them in. But it was also I won't invade as long as as long as you promise they won't get in. When I read on this, like, because somebody asked, that was one of the last questions, will Ukraine ever be let into NATO? I heard loud as could be, yes, 2024. So I heard 2024. So that does mean they survive as a democracy somehow, some way, which is good news.
Yeah.
But yeah, because Russia doesn't want them to be in because they're supposedly under the USSR. They won't. I hate when countries do that. They won't recognize them as a country. They're like, no, you're part of Russia. You're not separate, so you can't be in NATO. What we should have said was, yeah, no, there can be a NATO, and you have nothing.
Yeah.
We recognize them as a democracy. Now they're in NATO, and you can shut up. But we didn't do that. Everybody always tries to appease Putin, just like they did Trump, and we know how well that works. So, that's what happens. When you appease a bully, they just want more, right? They just take more. They just want more. And that's what happened.
And of course, like Connie said, of course, the Simpsons predicted this in the 90s.
Of course.
We need to go back and watch that season.
Just go watch all the Simpsons episodes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
The angel light is on. Is the angel light on?
I do feel like it could be in the stars, but not right now.
Yeah, soon in the future. Those are kind of my cards. That would be that could be 2024. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the cards I got for that. I mean, for this answer, it's like what? The Simpsons. Elsie says the symptoms are really freaky. But I have the Nine of Swords, the Star, and then the Tower. So it's like maybe because of this, maybe because of all this going on, that they'll take a look at it. Because I got two stars. Because I got this star came out on top of my other star.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's good. There's some destiny playing out here, right?
Mm-hmm. There definitely is destiny playing out, for sure. For sure. Do you guys want to end on maybe just looking at the week ahead? Just see kind of what may be coming up?
Let's do that.
With regards to the Ukraine situation?
Yeah, and just anything that comes up, maybe.
Okay. Next week. Next Friday. Situation. Invasion of Ukraine.
I'm seeing fighting, but some pushback as well.
Yeah.
I'm seeing hate. But I'm seeing this is the what do you call it? Putin's cabinet, Putin's parliament. There's a turnover. There's some kind of hate directed towards him, internal fighting, etc. So I asked by the end of next Friday. Russia actually wants to be set free of his nonsense. They don't want enemies. They don't want to be enemies. And I see a plan to maybe slip something into a beverage or a needle or something into, maybe there's a plan.
Interesting.
To get rid of him. A plan starts being put in place. A plan, and they're going to make it look like a medical situation, but I think
you could be right about that, Andrea. Yeah. I do. I think you could be right about that.
So they're going to, claim it's a medical situation. They're crafting the plan, but they're really doing something to him.
There's also something with a bunch of world leaders coming together. A bunch. I mean, like, it feels like 50. It feels like a whole bunch of world leaders coming together. And it really unnerves. And maybe that's part of what you're getting, what the fallout from that is, because it does feel like it starts to move the needle in some way. People don't like it at all. It makes people very nervous. Something about athletes too. I don't know what's going on. I know the Olympics is over, but there's something about athletes as well. I don't know.
So I got a couple things going on here. I'll share the first thing second because. But anyway, again, I have a destiny playing out here as we move forward. It's kind of like, this is kind of unknown territory because it's like, wait a minute, what's going on? And that this is happening in our century. But again, a destiny feel of kind of continue to move energy positively. All those of us who can continue to do that towards this week. I do see for him that I do feel like they're trying to, backing you up, Andrea, of what you were saying about something that they're planning to take this person out. They're seeing that this type of mentality is not fitting anymore, and they are pulling something together that will be kind of tricky under, you know what I mean, under wraps there. They are absolutely seeing the light with him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to move forward with something. Progress. Moving forward with something there. To bring harmony. We want harmony, right?
Yeah. Right.
So I feel like they are going to get that support, Kim, like you were saying, that support coming in somehow for them.
Yeah.
The other thing, and that's the other thing I was seeing, and I've been disturbed lately about how my guides are showing me 45 lately, but this one was really interesting as well, as he was dancing in the tulips. Does anybody know what that means? And I'm like, what are you dancing, shuffling and dancing away in the tulips?
45.
Yes. Any idea of that?
Tiptoe through the tulips is
tiptoe, yeah, but it was kind of like a shuffling, tiptoe, whatever. It's through the tulips. Shuffling away in tulips. What is tulips? I have to look some of these symbols up.
Well, weren't tulips? Wait 1 second. I need to look at this before I say it.
Tim knows something about tulips on a grave. Poppies.
Poppies. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of poppies.
Yeah. Someone else said poppies. Are you sure it wasn't poppies?
Because poppies are what put the put them to sleep in The Wizard of Oz.
That's right.
Um,
That's right. Poppies.
and they were doing that. They were running through the poppies. Started to fall. They started to fall asleep.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and poppies make drugs. Yes, drugs as well.
Well, I guess he's off on his own little trip then, of some sort. Pushing up tulips. So there's a running in on metaphors here.
Oh, he might be happy because if Poots gets taken out, Poots has a bunch of stuff on 45.
It's like he's dancing on the grave.
So that pressure would be off for at least one area of his life. Poot wouldn't be able to make him dance anymore because he won't be there. Maybe.
Interesting.
Terry says tulips mean deep love and were used as money hundreds of years ago.
What were the color? What color were the tulips? Do you know?
They're all different colors, but I'm seeing yellow. I'm seeing purple.
Okay. Because red are love and purple are royalty.
Oh. And yellow is friendship.
Wow.
All right. I'm going to throw some cards on what's going on with Trump, like specifically. Oh, look.
Definitely about him.
Oh, interesting, you guys. Uh-oh. Here we have the truth. So we're going to get some more truth coming out. You doesn't get any clearer than this. Mic drop. Things are becoming clear. The redacted is in reverse. So truth. Things that are redacted are coming out, and then you have truth. So targeting Trump, his time is up.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I got this card. It kind of reminds me of well, you all know what that reminds me of. Dancing through the tulips or whatever. Or your toes up in the tulips or whatever. I don't know. I'm mixing my metaphors, but you all know what I mean. But I feel like some more stuff is coming out this next week, obviously. But I wonder why he's like all dancy through maybe he's trying to
dance around it or something.
Dance around it, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he thinks he's out of the woods in some way, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's not. So he can dance all he wants. He's not out of the tulips.
I know. They're talking about how did they get those men to drive into Chernobyl? It is a death sentence.
Well, I'm sure they were threatened with being shot if they didn't. So, they're dead men driving anyways. They go into Chernobyl, they're over, right? In a way, like it's just a matter of time because they certainly weren't set in with equipment. Yeah. I'm quite sure.
Yes,
protective gear.
Catherine and Mark are mafia term, pushing up daisies. So that's what that card reminds me of. Yeah.
Oh yeah, tulips represent spring.
Oh.
Spring is coming, so maybe
they're moving into that direction. I'm gonna, just for fun, you guys, I'm gonna pull one card. What do tulips mean in this whole thing? But anyway. Kim, anything else you're seeing? You have that look on your face.
I know. I was trying to think of. There is a quote about tulips that I'm trying to think of.
Okay.
Is it?
And someone said drugs in here, right? Donald says in extreme radiation, your suit only covers you for 20 minutes. Drugs are poppies. Oh, you're right. You're right, T-Bar. Because I asked for the clarification card, and 2 dropped out, and here's the 2 that dropped out for clarification for the tulips.
Oh.
Under the influence? Someone, I don't know.
Opium. Ian says opium.
Opium?
I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. I'll have a talk with my guides and ask them to be a little bit more clear next time.
I'll have to think about that one, because that there's definitely something about that is kind of.
Well, is it tulips like Orange's big mouth flapping against? Maybe he turns against Pootie. Maybe he turns against Pootie. If Pootie is over with, he can talk. I don't know.
Poppies make opium. Opiates came from poppies. Okay. Yeah, tulips. I love that one. Yeah, literally 2 lips. Interesting, but we've got colors. I don't know. I'll have to sit with this one a little bit.
I think he'll be happy when Poot's gone.
Yes. I think that is it. I think that it probably is a something to do with him thinking he's out of the woods and he has nothing else to worry about, and then the hammer's going to come down.
That hammer of all those things. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm going with it too. That he just feels like he's just like shuffling away in the tulips.
The tulip field.
Or his job in prison is going to be taking care of the tulip.
Yeah.
The tulip.
We do have
the tulip garden.
Holland's famous for tulips, right? Yeah, Holland is.
Yeah. Very, very interesting.
Well, I'm super blessed to have been able to hang out with the whole family here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you guys
feel the same way.
Yeah.
It was a tough few days. Very, 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 very tough. If you're an empath, and even if you're not, put down those boundaries and, hug your pets and hug your family and be in the moment and be happy with what you have, and, send those blessings to everybody.
And don't tap
in Europe right now.
Don't tap into fear, because we don't want to send that energy out, right? You want to send strength, right?
Exactly.
Strength.
And just be aware and acknowledge each other, and knowing that there's a lot of us who are empaths who are feeling it, like in our bones, like everything hurts and everything. It's just like it's a real deal, and it really sucks. And we're with you. We feel you.
Yeah,
we're going through it too. But the great thing is we understand where it's coming from, and we're able to battle it a little better. And so remember that, and just keep giving those hugs and love out there. Mm-hmm. I keep being shown literally the whole time we've been on here that I need to do a special candle just for Ukraine and those in Russia who are protesting as well.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's what I'm going to do. That's something I can do, and I have power over it.
And I put up the information I don't know if you guys saw it. If you didn't, you can just look on my community page. But on my community page, I put about the dance party we're doing for Ukraine. I had the weirdest orb experience, you guys. It's embarrassing, but I was like exercising, I was dancing, and a song that I love came on. It was an ELO song about, about your dreams and happiness and stuff. And I kind of just spontaneously kind of threw up my arms and said, I want to send what I'm feeling and this peace and love and joy to Ukraine and all the people there. I want them just to feel this. And I kind of didn't think about it. And then a day later, I went back and looked, and as soon as I threw up my arms, it was like a blizzard of activity, just orbs and orbs and orbs. And even when I was done and sat down, winded, of course, because I don't exercise that much, I sat down and it just continued and continued and continued. God. So I said, there is something to this.
Yeah.
When you have that joy, there is something about that you can spread, that you can send. It was kind of like that same experience I had with the apology. It does something. It moves energy. There's something sciencey that happens when, I watch these videos not just to be like, oh, isn't that cool, but to try to understand what this is, what is going on here. It does something. So we're going to do a little dance thing, and I put it on my community page. We're doing it tomorrow, and I did a time for tomorrow and Saturday. All you have to do is put on a song that you love that makes you happy. You can dance or just sway or whatever, but just send out joy and love and peace and all of those good things to those wonderful people going through this awful time.
So yeah, Kim, that's a real deal. Yeah, I used to do that on a daily to move energy and send prayers out for
Did you post your orb dance party?
I said I was so embarrassed because I was dancing it that I didn't. But if there's a way that Adam can kind of block me out and you can just see, because as soon as my arms go up, because that's when I start to kind of pray. It was almost just like spontaneous.
Literally, you guys, it's
as soon as I did that, it was just like a blizzard.
Oh my God, I want to see that.
Unbelievable. So it does something, and we're going to do something. Yeah. 70s, 80s, whatever. Yeah, just something uplifting and happy. And it's something nice to do. Yeah. And Peace Train, perfect. Yeah. Whatever you guys want to do. Yeah.
This is a real deal. It's been going on for the beginning of time, this dancing and moving and,
that's
to create
exactly what I thought of. I thought of Native Americans. Yeah. I thought of the dancing to the drums and the rain dances and all of those things. It's real. It's real. It's real.
But you caught it on film, and that's great.
Caught it on film. And that's the thing, right? That we can do now that we couldn't do before, is actually see it with our physical eyes. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
And if you can't dance, you can move in your seat wherever you are, right? Like, yes, you can participate.
Absolutely. That's what I said. If you can't dance, just send out those thoughts. Just listen to that song, feel that happy energy, and send it out. Tomorrow, I can't remember what I put. Let me look real quick on my thing. And I just put Pacific time. Just figure out what time that is for you, and just. Yeah, just do it. So 1 second. Let me just go on my thing and find my page. Go on my community page. So it is 7 p.m.
Sister posted.
Oh, sorry. Tonight, 7 p.m. So that's in about 45 minutes. So 7 p.m. tonight, but then again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So 7 p.m. tonight, Pacific time. And then again tomorrow. I just figured I'd do a couple of different times because people are, in Australia and different places, and they might not hear about it. So
thank you, Sister Six, for posting that up here for us.
Mm-hmm. Well, we and I put our dancing shoes on. We got about 40 minutes.
And I put all this picture below with all these blue and yellow balloons, the color of Ukraine. Because when I asked my guides, what is this? What just happened? They showed me thousands and thousands of balloons going up to the sun. And for me, the sun always means source, God, the all. And balloons always represent, celebration, whether it's celebration of life or celebration. And it does something. It takes us straight to source. And so that's what we're going to do.
Yay. Can't wait.
Yay. So something happy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you, Debbie, for having us on. Thanks to you, Andrea, for
Thank you both for having me.
And keep checking out all weekend. There's lots of lives that you can connect into, so you don't have to maneuver through this alone. Just keep checking in. And I know Andrea and I will see you Sunday morning, really early.
Oh my gosh, how do you guys do it?
We had last week off, so we were like, woo-hoo. But yeah.
How do you do it?
And then of course my 11:11. But we'll please continue to check in and keep each other embraced during this time as we move forward.
We'll get through it. We'll get through it. We got through 2020. We will get through this. We'll go through this.
Yeah. So love and light to you all, and we will see you all next time.
Yes.
Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.